Hi everybody, this is Kim. How are you all doing? I am so ready to be back online with you guys. It's been a long time. So today what I have is I said 20 in the title, but I really meant 15 with one bonus thing. I found 16 things on a trip to Dollar Tree that we could use in our sewing, of things that would cost us a lot more money if we bought them elsewhere. So some hacks in there, but I think you'll enjoy it. So I'm so happy to be back. If you're new here, welcome. This is Dorothy's daughter. My name is Kim, and I am a sewing vlogger. I teach tutorials, do pattern reviews, and anything sewing related. So it is just so amazing to see all of you. Hi, I see everybody there. Priscilla, Lori, Brenda, Kathy, Racer Girl, Michelle, Creative Grammy. Aloha to you too. Welcome. I'm so glad you all are here, and I am going to get right to it. I'm not going to go in. You guys have all know what's been going on with me with the I've been recovering from surgery. In case you don't know, in case you're just happening on my channel, I've just had a big surgery and was recovering from that when I had my mother-in-law pass away, and just 11 months ago my husband passed away. And her passing brought up all that grief again. So I've been a little bit AWOL for the past month, and I am super sorry. But I am trying to be back. I've got a ton of stuff going on with my house. Hello Lori, good to see you. Hi Ivy. Ivy's got a new channel coming up to look out for. That's Sewing Space. She's going to have a channel all about our sewing spaces, which is going to be very cool. Joey, good to see you. I'm really happy to be back, you guys. So happy. Things are going well. I'm recovering. I'm sitting here without a back brace. I have it off like 3 or 4 hours at a time. I'm supposed to be weaning it. I'm in physical therapy, and that's going well. So I think all in all, on the road to finding some kind of normal in here. So anyway, I have just been dying to get back in here. I mean, it's been hard to sew because standing up for a long time was not good for a while, but I'm getting there. I really am. So yeah, so I was going to go ahead and start with the 20 things, and then we'll chat some more when we're done, so that those people who don't feel chatty can just get their information and log off. But if you feel like hanging around to chat, then I'll be here. So but anyway, thank you so much, Brenda. You guys mean the world to me. I can't tell you how much it means to me for you guys to stick it out with me. This last year of my life has been crazy, and it's coming around. Lots of stuff going on right now, but most of what's going on at this moment is happy. So I'm claiming that, and I've got the other channel that I need to record a video for here, and what I need to say about that is that video is going to be all about, it's going to be called Dance Lessons. If you don't know, I have another channel that's called Every Thought Captive with Christian biblical content, and it's going to be called Dance Lessons because he says he'll turn our mourning to dancing, and right now I feel like that's where I'm at. I'm not quite dancing yet, but I know I have to get past mourning into some kind of a life. I don't get past, but go forward with some kind of a life. So right now I feel like I'm taking dance lessons from the Lord. So that's just my little phrase that I came up with, and that accurately describes where I'm at right now. Hi Dot, nice to see you. Hi Nikki. Oh my goodness. Hi Pam. Awesome. Well, let's see what I made a trip to the Dollar Tree the other day, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna just take pictures of things that I find that in some way we could use for our sewing and maybe not spend as much on elsewhere. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go through that content. All right, so the first thing, did you know that they actually have fabric? So they had fat quarters, a lot of fat quarters, different. I'm sure the fabric is not what you would put in an heirloom quilt, okay? I mean, I'm going to just make that disclaimer because you guys know that if you buy it at the Dollar Tree, the fabric is not going to be, 600 thread count per kale or anything like that. It's going to be just basic broadcloth, mostly, that kind of thing. But for those little projects that you want to throw together, little stuffies for the kids, little, anything where it doesn't have to hold up for 100 years, you could use this fabric. And they also had quite a bit of burlap that had, it had like nautical themes with it. It was really cool. So, they have a lot of fabric, way more than I thought. I mean, they had a little bit, and then I noticed they've been getting a lot more. And some really cute prints in there, and a lot of solids. And sometimes you need a solid to, just for some little thing. One thing I saw was at Christmas time, making the rag trees. Have you seen those where it starts out with long sort of jelly roll strips and then gets smaller and smaller, and it kind of layer upon layer, and you're building a tree, which is really cool. So that would be a good source for something like that. So I thought, maybe if you haven't been to Dollar Tree in a while, maybe you didn't know that they actually do have fabric. Number 2, vacuum storage bags. Now these are the big ones, and so you can crunch fabric down to take up a lot less space, which is what I'm going to do because my drawers are full and I have a stack on the floor. If I showed you this stack on the floor, you'd go, oh my gosh. And all of these behind me are full. But they seem to be pretty good quality, and I'm pretty happy with them. I'm going to take them on a trip with me to Texas here in a few weeks, and I'll let you know how they perform. Number 3, hi Rhonda, good to see you. Mesh laundry bags. So when you buy chiffon or any kind of delicate fabric and you want to pre-wash it, one of the good things to do would be to put it inside of one of these bags to protect it, especially if you have anything else in the washer. You can do this too, like if you make your own underwear, you spent time on it, you want that lace that you put on there to stay nice. Put your underwear in a bag like this, and then it will never snag on zipper or anything else in the laundry. So those are really a good idea as well. Hi Diana, thank you so much. Hi Crystal. I'm trying to keep up. It's scrolling fast over here. All right, number 4 is a lint roller or a lint brush. They have both. These are all items that are $1.25 at Dollar Tree. And they're not sponsoring me by any stretch of the imagination. I have no relationship with them other than I like to shop there sometimes. So if you have ever used any of those things as we go along, please send me a hey there and tell me how you've used it. Maybe you know some items there that you have used in your sewing that I haven't thought of yet. So I'd love to hear your suggestions and your experiences. A lot of these are straightforward, but a couple of these are going to be a little bit surprising, I think. Number 5. There we go. All right. And it was supposed to have a caption on here. Let's see, is there one on the next frame maybe? I believe so. No. So number 5, that's because this was in the same section, so I didn't count it as its own thing. So it's still on number 4. They have dryer balls at the Dollar Tree. So that's something good to know, that you can buy. If you've never used a dryer ball before, it helps your laundry to get dry faster. It helps it's like a natural fabric softener because it actually fluffs your clothes as they're going around, and they work really well. I have some wool ones, and I don't know that they work as well as these because the little spikes on there, I call them like little coronavirus balls, but that's what it looks like to me. Sorry. But anyway, those little spikes help fluff the clothes. And so I think, you know, for $1.25, it's definitely worth a try. Maybe you could use less fabric softener, which would be but better for your clothes and better for the environment. So I like fabric softener, though, I have to admit. Lori, you always use the Dollar Tree. Me too. It's your own kind of therapy. I love that. I love that. You want to see, yes, they do work. They do work really well, actually. I've used not these exactly, but some kind of like them that I got from Temu, which is another place you can get a few things that enhance your sewing. And if worse comes to worse, you can always give them to the dog. All right, number 6 is, okay, how did I get past 5? Wait a minute, did I skip one? Okay, yep. All right, I skipped one. I guess dryer balls was number 5. I messed up. Big surprise. Number 6, storage boxes. Okay, these are nice. For $1.25, I pulled one out that I bought because I wanted you to see how roomy and how nice these are. They're not fabric, but they're that sort of non-woven type fabric. But they're fairly sturdy, and they fit the IKEA things really well back here. They're great for putting fabric or notions. I don't have it going right now, but in my old sewing room, I used to keep interfacing folded up in here. So, like, especially interfacing scraps that you don't want to throw away, but they're like, what do you do with them? I had a bin just for those things. So they'd be great for scraps if you're collecting them at all. But, I mean, for $1.25, you could really organize a lot of things. Small cuts of fabric. You could do all your fabric quarters, lots of things you could do by color. You could even do regular size cuts of fabric if you fold them into a square, and, you know, really pack them in there. And then you could organize them by color. It would be similar to what I have back here, only I like looking at that, so I don't like bins in there. But if you wanted to neaten it up, I guess you could put all those things in bins. If you use the vacuum bags to put in so that you could fit more, then you might want to go ahead and store it that way. All right, number. All right, number 8, glue sticks. Now, I don't know if you guys tell me if you've used glue sticks in your sewing. I have. I use it to tack zippers down before I sew them in. I'm sorry for the little pause. I usually close them off, but it's been like with the painters here, they've had such a little space to be able to walk around in. So that's Minnie walking around me here in the sewing room. Anyway, glue sticks, I use them to tack zippers down. I use them to tack binding down as I'm sewing it in, like the woven neck binding on some tops, that kind of thing. It's anywhere that you just want a temporary hold on something. It will come out on the first wash. They're made for children, so they just wash right out. and they work really well. I've used the purple ones, which scare me, and these are not. These are just white color. So I think they're pretty safe to use. Just one thing about that though, watch your sewing machine needle. You might need to change it just a little more often if you use the glue sticks, because you could get a little bit of residue on there and it could get gummy and sticky. So watch your sewing machine needle. I have not really had it happen with glue sticks. I've had it happen with other things, but not the glue sticks. 7 and 9. Okay, what did I skip? Oh my goodness. Number 8 was glue sticks. Okay. Number 9, notion storage. Okay, so there are a lot of products there you could use to store your notions in, and I forgot to get mine out here. I got one of these guys, and I put my small scissors, my markers, a little ruler, my seam gauge, anything little like that you want to keep at hand. You could use one of those. Let me pull it back so it's in focus. One of those notion things that you just saw going by, and they had all different colors and a lot of different configurations of them. So I think that is, a really good thing to use. They have tons of little things like that at Dollar Tree that you can use to organize just about anything. You love hearing puppy feet? I do too. I love my puppies. There's no doubt about it. Lori says she used glue sticks for a no-sew ornament. You glued it, then ironed it, then fastened the fabric down. Yep, they work really well. Really well. All right, number 10. How much tape do you go through when you have PDF patterns? You can always use more tape, and I don't think you find a roll of it cheaper than $1.25. I thankfully do have a projector, so sometimes I don't have to do a big tape job, but it's when I moved and I didn't have my projector hooked up, then I was taping things together. And so once in a while, I'm still taping things together quite often. And so I need a lot of tape, and I'm sure that you do as well, even if you do use a projector. A lot of times I will do my adjustments on paper. Sometimes you can do them in Affinity Designer, but sometimes it's the tactile thing of making sure that you're exactly spreading it as much as you want, and so I like to do those adjustments with my paper. So sometimes I'll just print the pieces that need the adjustments, and then all the other pieces I do with the projector. So like if it's a bicep adjustment, which is one I do often, I would just print the sleeve and do the bicep adjustment, and then use the projector to cut everything else out. Ivy said something here. I like that it is narrow. It would fit nicely between the serger and sewing machine. Yep, it would. And you could have your little tweezers there and other things that you use, clippers, whatever you're using at the serger. Alrighty. Number 11, a spray bottle. So how do I use a spray bottle in sewing? Well, you can use it when you're pressing a lot. I keep one with water next to my heat press because I like to put my interfacing in my heat press. So I will put my interfacing on my piece of fabric, and if it's one that calls for steam, which most of them do, I will go ahead and just sort of spritz it with water, and when I close the heat press, it will create its own steam, and it adheres so nice and flat, and it's a really great way to put that interfacing on. Now, I also use it if you have something stubborn that just doesn't want to press right. Sometimes you gotta water it down a little bit, and it'll help the iron steam quite a bit. So a spray bottle is a really good thing to have. If you get any of that Best Press or anything like that, I think you can buy refills. So a spray bottle is always a good thing to have. I also have some that has a vinegar and salt solution to help my sublimation designs last longer and those kind of things. So I probably have 6 of them hanging off my board there with various things in them. So definitely a good thing to have. Number 12. So did you know they actually have a lot of notions? They have pins, they have needles, they have tape measures, they have hoops, a lot of things that you just might need. And if you're going to do any freehand machine embroidery, those hoops are wonderful. They're just the right kind for that. If you remember my video a while back on machine embroidery the hard way. But that is a great, I mean, you can't use them in an embroidery machine, but you certainly can use them for freehand machine embroidery, and also for any hand embroidery that you might do, which is, I think that's kind of coming back. A lot of people are doing more and more of that. And also, they look nice. Sometimes you can display a little bit of work in them, and it's kind of cute. So I always have a few hoops around. I just make my kids jump through them. That's what they would say, right? That was a really sad joke, sorry. Number 13. Okay, this is the one. This is the one. Okay, so I was going to look up how much this was. This is a Kai seam ripper. All right, it is a razor, and it just goes between it's great for serged seams. You just gently tap down, and it just bloop, 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 bloop. It works really well. You have to be careful with it because you could cut too much easily, but it is this. All right. At Dollar Tree, they have these 3 of them for $1.25. They're eyebrow trimmers, but do you see any difference between these 2 products? I think I paid $15 for this one. So, I don't know. I'm going to try this. I was going to try it before I got online tonight, and I ran out of time. But these would be great seam rippers. So, $1.25 for 3 of them. So you'll never, if you lose one, it won't matter, because I'm always losing stuff like that. So that's another thing you could put in that little divider too. Anyway, I was like, wow, those look exactly like those seam rippers. And sure enough, they even have a little protective thing on them. And yeah, I think that you would really enjoy those. All right, so that is a little surprise. Number 14. Okay, so this is a seam roller that I spent a lot of money on. And so when you are sewing, I used it primarily for paper piecing and doll clothes. Instead of using an itty bitty iron on those little 1/4-inch seams, you can actually just roll them, right? And they'll, with a friction, will press them open. So a seam roller is a really good thing to have. Well, they had, lo and behold, a facial roller, as you can see here. Sorry. Anyway, you can use that just the same way. And this was $12. And that is $1.25. So keep your eye out. Those 2 things were in the makeup and beauty section. And I want to go back and go through that some more, because I have a feeling there's even more in that section that we could use. So save money, you know. I bought this at a sewing expo, you know, sewing expo or Dollar Tree. I don't know. Anyway, that's just another thing you can do with it. And number 15, a sturdy, I just called it a substrate, but these cutting boards are sturdy, sturdy, sturdy. And I'm going to show you what they're like. I bought some more because I put them under my appliances in the kitchen too, because you can actually move your appliances around a lot, like my air fryer, my big mixer. You can move them around and clean behind things when you put these underneath, and they cut to size as well. But if you, let's say a wallet pattern, let's say you're making the necessary wallet, you could take that pattern and cut it, you know, trace it on here and cut this out. It's very thin plastic, but very sturdy. So anything that had little pieces, you could cut a permanent pattern with this. I did that one bag sew along, and I think that was last year or the year before. I think it was for Christmas. I believe it was the year before last. Anyway, I made 8 of them, and by the time I was done, that pattern was like shreds. I had to print it again. So I should have made myself a permanent pattern, and all of those pieces would have fit on here. So that is, I think, a really good use for this. Not pictured here or numbered here, but you can also use their contact paper in your Cricut if you want to cut yourself a stencil for fabric painting or screen printing. Instead of buying expensive vinyl, you can use their contact paper. And just use the everyday iron-on setting, but you can adjust the pressure, do less, because it's a little bit thinner than the normal vinyl. Or you could use the one for sticker paper, which is pretty close to the thickness of the contact paper. That's if you have a Cricut. Silhouette, I'm not sure. It's been a little while. I had a Silhouette, but it's been a little while since I've had one. So, but definitely with a Cricut, you can do that. And then I had a little bonus guy. Number 16, did you know you can buy your wax paper and your parchment paper there? So when you're doing sublimation, you go through a lot of parchment paper so that the design doesn't stick to anything and doesn't get your heat press full of ink. So you want to cover it with butcher paper or parchment paper. So they definitely have rolls of parchment paper there, the same rolls that they have in the grocery store for a lot more money. And then they also have wax paper. Now, if you have cut-right wax paper, it's waxed on both sides. This, however, at the Dollar Tree is only waxed on one side. So when you stick your design down to it, you need to make sure that... So a lot of times, if I cut something on the Cricut heat transfer vinyl and I'm not quite ready to put it on a shirt, I'll stick it to wax paper. And then I can just pull it off and put it on when I get the shirt or whatever I need to put it on. Well, if you get the Dollar Tree wax paper, it works, but you have to make sure you're using the wax side of it because it's not waxed on both sides. Regular wax paper is cut right, you know, the Reynolds brand is. So those are my 15 plus a bonus things for from Dollar Tree that we could adapt to our sewing. And please comment if you've used any of these or if you know of any others that we should be on the lookout for. Any way to save money. I mean, I think you could have saved at least $50 if you had bought one of these things versus the kind in the store, like in the fabric shops and whatnot. So anyway, let me go here to the comments and see what everyone is saying. So let's see. I've wondered how they would work as a seam ripper. Yeah, I don't see. I'm looking at this close up. Let me open them. And I do not see a difference. Like, If anything, if these are a little bit duller, they might be a little safer, you know, because it doesn't have to be that sharp to cut thread. So they might be a little safer with your fabric. I don't know. I'm bad at opening packages. I wonder if I've got a seam somewhere I could rip out. Okay. I see absolutely no difference. Even the ridges on the razor are the same. No difference at all in these two things. I think they work. I'm wondering, do I have something that I could rip out? Let me find something. I should have just sewn something really quick so we could do that. I have a mistake t-shirt from the store. Okay, so this is Human Kim, right? I wanted this really cool sewing machine design on a t-shirt with my embroidery machine, only I hadn't quite learned how to line it up. So that's pretty bad. Anyway, so this is just there for practice stuff or scraps or whatever. So let me find a seam here to rip out. Let's rip out an armhole seam. Let me just give this a whirl. We'll see how it goes. Got to get it started. I think I'd prefer to start it with a regular seam ripper, or even just teeny scissors. We can do that. Sorry, I cannot see. This is how I really look when I'm sewing. Okay. All right, so we'll get it started here. Just pull it apart and kind of that, not the thing. You have to do it enough to pull it apart, just so that you have both rows from the serger. And there are definitely times when even the Kai one doesn't work that well on this, but I like them in certain situations, especially serge seams. It works really well for serger seams, but you do have to have it started. Okay, so now I've got it started so I can pull it apart, because you have to be able to pull it apart. Yeah, this is working really well. See? Now let me do the Kai one. No. It's not even as good. This one's actually better. You have to do it gently. See? I wish I had I wish I could zoom in and show you this. But yeah. This is a winner. This one is a winner. Definitely good. All right, that could have backfired on me big time, but it didn't. I was pretty sure it was going to work out. All right, which one? The Jots clear file folders. Yes, they do have those at Dollar Tree. And mine were out of them, but I have a really small Dollar Tree near me, which is kind of sad because I like to watch videos about things from the Dollar Tree, and you know, I was inspired by those creators. They find a lot of things for DIY, floral arrangements and all those kind of things. And I like watching those and doing some of those projects. And I just thought, you know, I should just see if there's anything we could use for sewing. And I needed a concrete, fun video idea because I wanted to jump back in with both feet here after being off for a little while. And I was going to the Dollar Tree, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to scour the aisles and see whatever I find that we can use. So we can zoom in, but wax paper wasn't in view. Was in view? Oh, yeah, I didn't have a picture of the wax paper. I don't actually have any of that with me, and I didn't buy any, but it's right next to the foil and stuff. It just says wax paper, but you just have to be careful with it because it's only waxed on one side. Ah, think about joining Friday Sews. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Is that on Facebook? Let me know where that is, maybe. The last tip is still on the screen. Okay. Okay, let's see. Oh, I see. Let me get rid of that. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that nagging on there. But, all right, should I rip it a little bit more so you can see better since that was in the way? I didn't realize I still had that on there. Okay. You got to go gently and make sure that you're not ripping where you don't want to rip. I wouldn't do this with chiffon or, you know, anything too delicate. Unless the seams were loose enough that you could get to them easily. I'm right at the armhole seam, so, ow, I just cut my finger. Don't do that. Let me go this way. The armhole seam was getting in the way. You could really, you know, remove something pretty quick. Especially like if you've got a ready-made garment that you want to rip apart and repurpose, this would be great because it wouldn't matter even if you ripped it a little bit. Okay. Alrighty. 8. There are quite a few 8N. Oh, in the group. Okay, and you get good ideas from them. Awesome. I'll check that out. Cool. The pick is still there. Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry. See, I had the... That's what you were trying to tell me. Duh. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little slow. I have the comments over half of my screen, so I didn't see that the picture was still there. I thought it went away because I had gone to the next scene, but apparently it copied over and I didn't mean it to. I'll do it again. Once in a while, you got to cut these streamers. So, and that's on a shirt that was serged in a factory, so should have been really. No, it didn't. It's just a little nick. It's not anything. It didn't bleed. Thank you, Joey. I love you guys too. Well, I have to check that out. So, so the community part, is that on Facebook? Ooh, Joey got a Baby Lock Elissimo. Is that a sewing machine, embroidery machine, serger? What type of machine is that? I'm not familiar with that model of Baby Lock. Oh, that's right, Ivy. This would work really well for you to cut. Only thing, just make sure that, because I know the knits curl, but there's nothing you can really, no matter how you rip that out, it's going to curl. Yeah, I saw a tip on these as eyebrow razors, and I was like, those are seam rippers. And for the longest time, I kept looking at my Dollar Tree, and they didn't have any. So when I went to do the sewing video, I'm like, there they are. So yeah, 3 in a package for $1.25. I have static sound. Are you guys hearing static? It might have been because I was moving around or by my... Let me know, guys. It's not showing in my sound levels, so... Oh, a hashtag on YouTube. Gotcha. Okay, cool. I'll have to check that out. Ah, okay. Good. All right. So, this is where we'll start a little fellowship chat. And sort of... So, if you want to hang around, even if you want to ask a question about what I just talked about or anything else, because I'm always ready to answer any sewing question, go ahead and stick around. And but now it's open for fellowship. You hear the static, huh? Maybe something isn't plugged in tight. I can't think of what it would be. Oh. Did that make a difference at all? Let me see if I turn this down. Maybe I have this too loud. Is that better? Is that better? Okay. All right. Are you still hearing the static? I don't know what it's from. It's not showing me on my sound levels, which usually it would, so I don't know where it's coming from. I can't tell. So let me know if that... I turned this mic down just a little bit. It got louder. Huh. Let me try something here. Is that better? I don't know how loud this is, though. I probably have to turn it up. All right, is that better? Yeah, but I still need to know. I know that you can deal with it, but Is it still staticky now? It stopped. Okay. I just used my MacBook microphone, so it's something with my microphone which I'll have to troubleshoot. But since I don't have earphones on right now, but I'll put some headphones on and see if I can figure out why it's doing that later. Okay. You still hear static. That I don't know, because those were 2 different microphones. So, okay. Alrighty, well, I'll have to investigate that when I'm offline. So how are you all doing? Is life going well for everybody? It's been an interesting year, hasn't it? I'm doing much better. Like I said, I would say the category I'm in right now is, from morning to dancing, is I'm taking dance lessons. And that's where I'm at. And I know that I will get there. I am spending a lot of time on house projects that I'm not doing them, but I have scheduled all these people to come do all these things. And it's kind of become a lot of moving parts. I have my kitchen cabinets are being painted and they are almost done. They have the color on. Now they just have to put the doors back on and paint the walls. So that will be done on Monday. And then next week, I'm getting all new windows in this house. So, and then I still have to put new exterior doors. And those will be the big things. The roof is done. That was like 2 weeks ago. So that's been kind of I don't know, I guess a nice diversion. A little bit hectic, but nice. So thank you so much. Yeah, I really like going to Kathy. I agree. I hadn't been in a long time, and I love watching. Have you guys watched Catherine on Do It on a Dime? She is just full of ideas, like mostly household hacks. She's the one who's told me about cutting those to fit under your appliances, and then you can move them around the countertop super easy. And then you can wipe behind them. No more dust bunnies behind your air fryer. Or I have one of those big like toaster oven air fryers, and you can actually pull it out and wipe back there. My coffee pot can come out easily from, I push it in over, and then pull it out so that I can get to it all. Because it's like an espresso machine and all that. So when I pull it out, I can get to everything. And it just slides back and forth. You do hear static now. That has to be in, I don't know. I'm baffled because it's 2 different microphones. I'm going to have to check that out. Maybe if I turn this down a little bit. Yes, it can be. My other YouTube channel is Every Thought Captive, and there are a lot of them. Mine is the one that has sort of a pinkish background with a butterfly, if that helps. I will put the link in the description after I get offline of this video so that you can check it out. I need to start including that on all of my videos. So, yes. I agree. It is kind of cumbersome. You have to somehow get a hold of it and hold it open so you can, yeah. I was thinking if you had a clip that you could clip onto something and then just pull with the other finger, then you could do it more easily. I don't know. But, cool. You can't sew at all right now. Basement walls were falling in. Oh no, that's so hard. Having the work done to stabilize them. Oh, that's so frustrating. I know. When I moved, I made them set the sewing room up first. Everything had to come in here first. Anywhere else, my bed, other than my bed. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting all this stuff done. And I hired a girl that she's kind of like a handy person. And she came over and painted my bathroom, one of my bathrooms. And she's going to do the other one next week and hang sliding glass or sliding doors on my closet. Not glass door, they're mirrors. They're mirrored sliding doors in my bedroom closet because I thought mirrors, well, there were no closet doors anywhere when I bought this house. It's the craziest. Like, why did they take their closet doors? I don't understand, but they did. And so I just purchased some sliding mirror doors because I think the mirror will be nice for pattern testing, to be able to kind of see better. If I use a handheld mirror, I'll be able to see things better. So I believe that was somebody at my door. I think it might have been my son. So I'm going to have to log off here because he's bringing his dog over for me to babysit. So, but anyway, let me just double check and see if that's him. 1 second. Yes, that is my son. So I'm going to have to get going. But it's been really great to see you guys. I'm sorry I have to go, but my son has brought his little dog over, little furry ball. She loves me. She follows me everywhere. So now I have 3 dogs for the weekend. So anyway. Oh, Lori, I hope they get that done really fast for you and that you get everything back together. Well, you guys, I'm sorry to have to cut out like this, but I really have to go. I didn't think he'd be here this early, so, but I had to squeeze in a chat because I miss this so much. You guys have a great week, and I will be chatting with you soon. And hopefully I got a couple video ideas coming up here. So, all right, you guys, it's been great chatting, and I will see you soon. Happy sewing.